Recently, I met up with someone you guys might know. He makes YouTube videos, but he's more known for his short form content. This guy, Josh, lives in Austin now. And we were talking a little bit about YouTube, kind of being an influencer and talking to a camera. And he related it a lot to acting. He is an actor. He has an acting background. I saw him act in a short film. And he said something very interesting to me. He said that YouTubers, influencers, they tend to have a little bit of those skills bleed into acting. And so your average YouTuber is usually an above average actor, at least in the sense that we're comparing them to everybody else in the world who just starts out acting. YouTubers already are doing that in a sense, even in channels like this, even with his content, which is just like this. It's raw, it's scripted, but he's just speaking to a camera and there's basically no edits. And he said, with YouTube, you are kind of creating this character. You're building a character and getting better at playing that character over time, even if it's totally unscripted and unedited. So yes, in a sense here, I am playing a character. This is only a part of me. This is the YouTube unscripted version of Cole. And it is, I think, closer to what we would consider my real self than my main channel. If you see me on my main channel, I'm a little bit more animated when I talk, and I try to speak quicker. I have more cuts, and I really try to be charismatic with my voice. But here it's just a bit more chill, and it is closer to who I am in real life. But there still is a little bit of a veil, and there still is a bit of a character I'm playing here. And we're all doing that at basically every moment of our lives, even when we think we aren't. Everybody is wearing some sort of mask. Everybody is playing some sort of character that they've either been forced into or that they've chosen to play and build up themselves. Life is this very large and long sandbox RPG. If you've never played a sandbox role-playing game, these are games where you create a character and it's up to you to decide what you want to train and what type of path you want to go down. So you could be magic based and you could build your character stats within the typical magic skills up more than the average person. Or you can be a warrior based and you can build up your strength and your attack. Those games give you a lot of flexibility and freedom to do what you want. Now, how life differs a bit from those games is that not everybody starts on a level playing field. In video games, everybody starts out at level 1 in the exact same place, and there's no advantages unless you've already played the game before, but we won't count that for life because as far as we know, nobody's ever played the game of life before. This is everybody's first time playing or first time they think they're playing. And over time, we build up a character. We play different characters within various different settings. Now, a lot of people say, in order to be your most authentic self, you just need to look back at your childhood and what you enjoyed most back then. But even then, you're being influenced by something or someone outside of you. Something or someone outside of you is creating beliefs and creating ways in which you get more interested in some things than others. Like we say we're naturally drawn towards, let's say drawing as a kid or playing a certain sport. You'd be surprised how much of that comes from how your parents influenced you, how your friends influenced you to think about certain things. And those got reinforced so much that you came to believe, this is what I like. Now, that's not to say that there aren't some things that you chose as a child that you went after and that no one told you to do. And sure, we could technically say that came from just intuitive thinking and you're like, okay, I want to do this thing. But there is still probably some sort of outside influence. And this is the next part I want to get into, is you can't really define yourself or know who you are, who you truly are within you, without everything you consider to be not you, which is the external world. This is absolutely true. You have a different character depending on who you're with at a certain point. And this might be how it differs a bit from an RPG. We are creating our characters, but we have all these different kinds of characters based on usually who we're around or what sort of environment that we're in. You play a different character when you're talking to your parents. You play a different character when you're talking to your friends. You play a different character when you're in a more formal setting and you're at work. And while some of these might not feel authentic, it's still a part of you. It's still a part of you you've created and built up over time. Now, this is where people say, in order to find out who you truly are, you need to spend a ton of time alone. And I think alone time, contemplation, reflection is super important. I think it allows you to work through things in your mind and figure out things that are more aligned with your interests, even if your interests didn't really come from you and came from someone or something in your childhood. But even when you are by yourself, you're kind of playing a character. Try to sit with yourself and ask yourself, who am I? You're never going to be able to fully arrive at that question, even if you feel the most free when you're by yourself, because no one can judge your actions. There's still some sort of mask being put on. You're being a character, although it is a much more spontaneous character that's completely free from the shackles of judgment of other people or other things in your surroundings. And the whole pursuit of trying to find yourself when you're alone, while useful in some cases that I don't even know if I can explain in an unscripted video when I'm just yapping. What you are saying when you say, I'm going to try to find myself and sit with myself alone, you are separating yourself from another version of yourself. So, for instance, there's the part of you that's looking for you, and then there's the part of you that you consider to be your authentic self. So if the part of you that's searching for your authentic self is not you, then how are you ever going to find the real you? Because if the pursuit of finding your true self comes from the person or character that is trying to find it, well, there'll always be some sort of belief or bias baked in based on who's doing the searching. So really deeply think about that, how the search for your authentic self comes from a search by a piece of your character who's doing the searching. So in that sense, like the whole idea of trying to find yourself, now I'm realizing it's a bit, I don't want to say dumb, but it's like almost meaningless, because no matter what, no matter where you are, you're never going to truly be 100% authentic, I think. To add some nuance to this, because I know when I say that, a lot of people are going to be like, Cole, are you just faking everything you do? Like, how do you sleep at night? How do you feel good about what you do in your day-to-day activities if you're never truly being yourself? Well, I don't really think of it that way. I don't know what being myself is. It's too fucking complex. Like I just showed you. It is too complex. So instead, I would just like to think of life as playing these characters in different situations that are necessary and building up a character that fits each scenario that I enjoy playing. And that's what I think is the real key to life, is not trying to go on this endless pursuit of finding yourself. You should instead create characters that you enjoy playing. This is what I think is so much more useful, is to look at who you are right now. And this is where the sitting alone in contemplation part is useful. It's when you're sitting alone and you're thinking to yourself, what in my external world built me into the characters I play today? What does each one of those characters look like? And how much do I like playing each of those characters? That's what sitting alone and contemplating can teach you. It can teach you how much other people have determined what your characters look like in the present moment. But after that, you've got to say, okay, I know this pursuit for like trying to find myself, it's too vague. It's too ambiguous. There's always a part of me that's going to be defined by other people and how I feel in those situations. And even when I'm alone, is it really being myself? You just can't really answer that question. So instead, you ask yourself, okay, how in each of these situations do I build a character that's enjoyable to be. And that's not the same as being a fraud. I don't think that's the same as being a fraud, because we are all characters. We're all acting in some sort of way, whether we think it or not. So this is the greatest the greatest flip question is, instead of who am I, it's who do I want to play as? Who is the actor I want to be? Maybe not actor. Who's the character I want to play in each of these situations? And you'll find that a lot of the answers to that question actually come from outside of you. So for example, certain people bring out a certain version of you. Like when I'm with really good friends and they make me feel good about myself, I'm going to want to hang out with them more. If I respect who I am, if I respect that part of my character, I'm going to want to hang out with them more. So I'm going to ask myself, okay, what are those people, or who are those people that really make me feel like the character of Cole is awesome and can do anything? Okay, I'm going to create a life in which I see those people more often and avoid the people that make me feel like the character of Cole is kind of shit. Next thing is, what are the actions I do? These are outside of me, that make me feel accomplished, that make me feel like I can do anything and I can make progress in life and I can feel fulfilled with what I do. And how do I start to build a character that gets to do those things more often? That's the real secret. If you are unhappy with where you are in life right now, it's not about finding who you are. It's about creating who you want to become. And when you do that, when you stop stressing over whether you're truly being authentic and wishing you could be more authentic, whatever the fuck that even means, then you actually start to enjoy life. When I stopped thinking to myself, I just need to be myself more. I just need to be myself more in this social setting. And, I'll be fucking carefree and confident. Like, no, I wasn't carefree or confident as my current character back then. The character I'd built up till that point in my life when I was like 15 was socially awkward. There was no way that being myself would make me more socially confident. No, I had to build a character to play as. And then eventually, the more that you do the behaviors of that character, you would reinforce the idea that part of yourself is that character. Again, it sounds bad. It sounds like I'm being fake. But I don't even think about these things anymore. It's not like the whole YouTuber Cole is so ingrained into my identity now that it doesn't feel fake at all. But every character is going to feel a little inauthentic at first. It's going to feel a little fake at first because it's like, what are you doing? I'm not used to being this type of person. But that's totally normal. It's totally normal at the beginning of your character creation journey to feel a little inauthentic and awkward. And you need to feel that way. It's actually necessary in order for you to eventually be comfortable with that mask on, with being that character. A lot of the characters you create right now, they feel inauthentic because you don't want to play them. And they're so detached from the type of empowerment you get when you decide what your character's stats and skills are going to look like. I'm in the middle of writing a novel, and I actually wrote something similar to this idea in my book that one of the characters in the book says. He says, everybody's wearing a mask. It's just a matter of finding and choosing the ones that are most bearable to wear. But ideally, they wouldn't just be bearable, they would be empowering to wear. And if you want to get more updates on that novel that I'm writing, which is about a 20-something-year-old who goes through this really tragic loss and develops the ability to see into a parallel reality, you can get updates on my newsletter. You can subscribe to that newsletter by going to the link in the description below. Also, if you want to talk more about being a new character in this life, then you can join my self-mastery school, where we try to bring out the best of each other, the best of the parts of ourselves, the best characters. So if you're interested in joining that school, getting access to weekly calls with me and the group, then you can go to the link in the description as well. And goodbye. I'm going to go play another character.